Susanna here. I'm here with video number 1 for my Christmas runner. I was talking with Corrine and I wrote down all the prompts and little bits and pieces and all that she had done, and then I've gotten myself a bit of a design of what I want to do. Hang on a minute. Here is what I'm using. Now it's a bit of a whopper, so you can't get all of it in there. It's this table runner. I'm going to measure it. I think it's probably about as big as Corrine's. I'll do in inches and then, you know, so I think it is, oh, hang on a minute, the big one. Pull it out. I think it's about 41 inches, probably 42 including the little tassels. And then how many across? 20, not 30. So 41 or 42 with the tassels. So by 30. So 76, which is 30 centimetres, and 41 or 42 is 107. So it's about a metre. A metre by, what did I say 30 was? By just a, 1 metre, because 100 centimetres is a metre, so just a little over a metre one way, and a bit under a metre, a bit over half a metre the other way. Sorry, I'm just winding up the thread. Now, my dinner setting that I have is, these are the feature plates, but all the rest is this, and it's called Celeste, and it's by Meakin in England, and I think this is a Meakin as well. These are sort of the dressy ones that I've got. So pretty. So I'm wanting it in blue and red. So like I want it to match that. I was going to do the new Tilda fabrics, but I'm like, I've got so much fabric, I really don't need to buy it. I'm going to Corrine's and we're going to go to Dewdrop Inn or whatever, that new place, and she does have them, but I'm just going to buy a bit. There was one that I saw, she showed me her Christmas runner and there was a fabric on there, so I'm just going to buy a couple of little pieces of it rather than the whole lot. So I've got that, and so here is my design. Just fold this up. We might get started on doing something today. I've got these. This is a Tilda, this is from a jacket, that's a Tilda, you know, so I'm sort of going the pink, sort of the raspberry reds and the blues, and I've got a little bit of teal in there because it's got the, you know, the ready flowers in there. I love that. And I've got this piece that is from Corrine. And you love all those little, I'd say it is from, it looks like a mattress ticking. So that's that. And then I've dug out some of these old embroideries, in cross stitch, what are they? Vintagey patchwork, that's it. That's probably going to be the centerpiece for my piece, which is that one in the middle, either that one or that one, because I do like that, but it's got wadding already on there. Yeah, I think I will go with that one. I've got this because it is Christmassy, and I might put just a little bit of gold here and there because it's got a bit of gold in that. There's a tiny, sort of goldy, but not really. What else have I got? What I'm using. Yeah, these are the, I've got this lace, really like it. So I'm going to go beigey linens. I was thinking of using this maybe under the Christmas tree. I think I saw Corrine on the bottom of hers. All depends how big. My Christmas tree is not going to be as big as hers. I've got a different design. So now I bought these from Purveyor a while back, and I may put them together and use the squares, or I might just use the bits and pieces as is, you know, and just put them as squares. I think that was another one that fell apart. I mean, they're really old. I saw, like, they're that old, so I've got some more somewhere else, but they had in one of the fabrics, it had a SWAT sticker on there, and so it's obviously from original 30s, but I just found it fascinating. These don't have it on there. Yeah, so they're really, really quite old. So little bits of lace, blue, and here I've got, this is from the little strip bits that I've got left over from my jacket, which I still need to finish, and my machine is now working. I bought this from the antique shop that I go to the other day because of that reddy and tealy colour, and this has got purple and tealy, but I do like that, so I'll probably use some of those elements. I could probably, you know, pull it apart, and even use some of these lacy elements. I've got a whole heap of just fabric that I'm going to use for these. Now, that's going to be the centre, so it's rectangle, very rough sketch. So that'll be that bit in the middle, and then I want to use it. I've got these as well, all me little bits and pieces. This is where my dash of green is going to come in. I'd like to use green, this green, around the outside to do the wreath, and then on the outside is like the little garland, and I will put bits of green in there. I might get felt and do, these are supposed to be holly. All these little round bits and pieces are baubles, which I'll make, you know, from yo-yos. I've got 6 little squares here, which I'm just going to stitch around the outside, but I'm going to do them in, I'll grab my fabric and see which I think looks the best, that's going to stand out. So these tiny little munted birds, but you know, like some of the prompts is a bird and all that kind of stuff. And I bought this beautiful fabric from Gales. That's why I'm hesitant to get this other fabric from Tilda, because I've got so many Tilda, which I bought from in August. They had it out then, and it's got a beautiful reindeer on it. I think it still might be at my other place. I don't know, but I've got a little while to find it, and I know I've got it. So it's got real beautiful little, I showed it on the channel a while ago, those little houses in that Tilda fabric. Where are we? There's about 4 different types. So I want to make a little village along here. You know, just sort of cut them out and maybe even, you know, do wreaths on the door and, you know, just little bits and pieces. So I've made a little bit of work for myself. So, yeah, but it's something that you're going to drag out every year. And I did have a long, skinny one, which fits on my TV hutch really well. But I was thinking, because it fits there really well, it's something that I want to have there all the time. So I might use that and make a project with that I can have it on my hutch, maybe do some hexies and all that kind of stuff. So I've got little hexies in that one, scribbling bit because she's got, you know, do a song or poem, the reindeer, and some floral elements. And here's my tree. So it does seem small on there, but they're probably going to be fairly biggish. So we'll grab out, put some of that, I'll just put that aside there. I'm trying to make it so that I can have it cleanish. And love these elements too, so pretty. You know, the rickrack, there's a little bit of that gold element, blue, and I quite like this too. And I got this, and I think, hang on a minute, I was going to use this too, these two, because they go really well with this. I want to bring out some of that pink a little bit, so that'll come in there somewhere. So, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm probably going to keep these, move these bits and pieces. So I've got a fair bit of this, so I'm hoping that will go all the way around. Got some pins over here. See, I like that colour. It's very old. It looks like it's you know, like they haven't, the stitching on it is terrible. So yeah, it's one of those ones that the fabric's really nice, and I don't mind them individually, but I might cut them out and use that. Maybe use some of this. Yeah, sort of more that side. So I'll put it in there anyway, because I do love using beautiful, you know, vintagey type fabrics. So I've got this there, put that down. So I'll keep this because that's going to be the centerpiece. I better move these. Ooh. Table behind me. So got this behind me, and I might have to move that. Put that down there, bit of tape, and I'm going to hang my thing up on the side. So I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do. Okay, so we've got this. Okay, we got an empty bench with the tape. I thought I'd better be good and clear my bench. Now, I will, which is the front. It was pretty filthy, this thing. I thought I'd better give it a clean. What I might do, I'm just giving it a fold, and I'm going to crease in the middle, just so I know where the middle is. Okay, here we go. Might have to do the same the other way so that we can get the middle point, which is what I want. Okay, there we go. I think it's about there. What have we got with? No. Like this. Here we go. Where to put that dot there? Know where the middle is. Okay. Okie dokie. So we'll have this piece, which looks pretty shabby. So I'll put that in the middle. Or I might have to, I'll give it this an iron, but I'm going to try and find where the actual middle is. And it's not where you think. There we go. So, geez, it's dirty. I might have to give it a wash. I probably have already, but it's quite aged. Okay, see, I quite like that against the white, I think. Yeah, there we go. I think it looks really nice. So I'm going to, I might just pin that in the middle if I can find my pins. There we go. And then I'm going to give it a bit of an iron because it does bother me. I'm just trying to smell it. Has it been washed? I don't know. Okay. So this at least gives me a bit of an indication. If it does bother me, I can wash it. So pin that down here. Gives me an indication where I can put my 3 see, I definitely do want to iron it. I don't mind the jagged edges, but at least it needs a bit of an iron, if you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, just so it just sits a bit flatter. So I want to do, there's a middle. Okay, at least I know where the center one is going to go, if that's those, you know, the 3 that are going to go there. So this is the background I'm working on now. So let's have a look. What is going to work? I do like that. It is nice. And this is a coffee dyed or tea dyed calico. And I kind of like how it's all creasy. This has already been cut here, so we could probably keep going. So we'll try and find a good size. Where's my scissors? Okay. It's a bit crooked there, that's not good. I'll go on the top. There we go. I think it's a bit wider there. I'm going to cut maybe there. Okay. And I could probably not the right width. Yeah, see, that's probably a good size. So where's that tape measure? Here it is. So let's see. Yeah, I was thinking about 6 by, so maybe 6 by 7. I might, you know, fold that around or whatever it is. Or maybe 6 by 6, because we need to get a what I'm going to do is just a little bit bigger. That's 6 that way, and then I'll do 6 that way. So 6 by 6, very roughly cut. I'm doing a Rachel, which I could probably use some of this fabric in, because I want to use some creams in anyway. So at the moment we're just doing the creams. I don't like that. That's probably a bit too rustic. So I do like that cream though. And do I go for another one on the other side just to have them the same? Well, that's quite nice. It's a real, I may. Okay. I think this is a real beigey colour. That's the bit we just cut. Okay. Whether we, I do like it because it does match that, but this is a little less strong, if you know what I mean. So I'll do 6 by 6, just a little bit bigger. Have that bit there, and then that'll be one for the other side, a little bit bigger than 6. I'll have to fold it over. There we go. So we've got 2. So that one's for the other side. Okay. I don't know how big you are in the, pretty close. And do I need to pull it out? Oh, hang on a minute. There we go. There we go. You can see it a bit better. Probably haven't been in camera that whole time. Sorry, guys. Now, so whether we have it the same or maybe have that one up there, have these pieces in the stash. I've got a little stash, a little box here with all my neutrals. I will proceed to put back. Now I do like this, even though it is in the white. I was wanting to get not quite big enough, even though the colour's great. It's great that way. Pulling, but it'd be only 5. Yep, they need to be fairly big. Okay, nope. Nice. Maybe I dye it. Love the fabric. 7. Yeah, so this could be a contender, but dyed. That's the same fabric. Now this is linen, but I think I like that colour better. So, and it's got a bit of blue in it. I think I bought this by memory. I think I bought this in England. So what I'm going to do is go I'll do a little bit bigger than 6. Might do 7 because I need to cut need to cut through, sorry, my head's in the way. And I'm gonna come back with a pair of what are they called? Oh no, I'd like to cut in the middle and do the 6 from there and have that. I do have a rotary cutter, or I just, because it's already cut it, I will cut it straighter, but for now sort of chuck it in the middle. I'll definitely have to straighten that up, so that'll be one on that one side and one on the other side. Whether I'm going to use, where are we going? There we go, put that away. I don't know when it was from, but I do remember, I think I bought it in England when I was in an op shop. So do we do that, or is it too yellow? Because I rather like, once again, I rather like the edge. Wonder if it's big enough. Ooh, just. Or is that a better colour? A bit hard for you guys to see here. These seem to match better. It's very yellow. Okay, let's hope. Let's hope we can get 2 ends from that. Now is that 12? Yes. So we'll go just a little bit over 6 to make sure that we cut it. And it doesn't always cut properly. Okay. And then we have got I'll just cut it in half. I'll come back with a measuring thing. So that there, so this will, if I dye some, but maybe not. Okay, put that over there somewhere else. Okay, so maybe we go here. Fold it over, do that, have that down there, probably have that there, have this in the middle, and then have that on top. So they're sort of the same, but they're different. So where are we? Can you see it? A bit of a layout. I think that's pretty good so far. I'll just have a look. Where's this piece? There's that other piece that I was having an eye whether I use that. No, I do like that. Got that real vintagey charm about it. I'm going to cut these properly. Like cut them and give everything a bit of an iron. And where are we? Where's me green? I'll put this away and I'll come in. I've got to come around with this green. Oop. You know, that's going to be the wreath, so it does have to come around, and it's going to be fairly biggish. I might have to go, rather than going in the middle, go a little higher because the village has got to come on the bottom. So this may go higher, but for now, and then I'll have it there, and then this red is going to go around. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll see how we go with everything. But yeah, that's the beginnings of where it's going to go. And it's got that beautiful, I was actually thinking I wouldn't mind putting a bit of fabric underneath that, just a strip. I've got these strips of that blue fabric, so I may use that so that you can sort of, it'll bring out. And then along here, I don't know what I'll do, but we'll see how we go. Okay guys, well, I will see you in the next one. I thought I'm going to probably place these down, do the garland, have these background fabrics, and then when I get to Corrine's, I'm going to start doing some of the elements that are in there. So yeah, quite happy with how that is looking, and I will catch you in the next video, which I'm not sure what it'll be at this point. Either, you know, my wildlife and flora, or another one of these. We'll see how we go. But yeah, I'm very excited to be able to do a nice Christmassy project, which is quite country. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Bye.